At that moment, Jae-yeon raised her hand and said, "Garam, can you please stop making that expression? It's really terrifying." "What's wrong with my expression?" "You look like a psychotic killer who's been provoked, Garam." "Oh, would you like a beating, Jae-yeon?" Okay, I'll shut up." "Oh God, fine, I'll trust you for now, Garam." "Really?" Garam asked with a sly grin. "But because of me, you both need to help me with a small task." "A small task?" He asked nervously. "Yes, this is why I called you two here. From now on, I'm only going to bully the class monitor. That means Eun-jin won't be bullied by anyone else, right? I can't stand seeing that happen. So, I want you two to bully Eun-jin for me. You understand what I'm saying, right? Can't you give us some other task, Garam? Why are you protecting someone who abandoned you and ran away? Did you forget about those embarrassing photos of you two that I have? Listen carefully. If you do what I ask this semester, by the end of it, I'll delete those photos." Upon hearing this, the two girls eagerly agreed. "You can count on us, Garam. Leave it to us." "Good. Also, remember to keep what I asked about Hina a secret." "Hina? Who's that? Never heard the name before. Is she Greek or something?" "We don't know who that is," they replied, trying to play dumb. "I'll send you the details of your task tonight. Make sure to read it." "I'm leaving now," Garam said as she walked away. As she left, Garam thought to herself, "Let's keep it like this for now. The task that my stepfather gave me." Hina was always surrounded by people thanks to her unassuming and positive personality. Even though she joined during the second semester of sophomore year, she quickly became close with everyone. But after Hina became the target of those people's games, everyone slowly abandoned her. Living in such a strange situation, she was lonely until the end. But Hina would never ask for help from anyone because she wanted to protect her worthless father from those monsters. To protect the Huiyin Corporation, she decided to endure everything alone. It was truly lonely. I want to give Eun-jin a gift. The separation from the world that Hina experienced, the loneliness. The next morning, Eun-jin was in shock as she spoke. "What's wrong with you guys? Why are you suddenly treating me like I'm invisible? Is it because I left you and ran off yesterday? But nothing happened to you guys yesterday. I'll treat you to some food today, okay?" At that moment, Sihi slapped Yunjin's hand away and said, "Your voice is so annoying it makes me want to run away for real. Because of you, we got dragged into this mess and beaten up badly. You're just a useless, ungrateful bitch. Do you think we'd be hanging out with you if it weren't for your connections?" "Sihi, are you serious?" Eun-jin asked, shocked. "Don't act like you know us anymore, like you did when you ditched us yesterday." "From now on, we're done," Sihi replied. Eun-jin, now furious, shouted, "You ungrateful bitches. If you were in my shoes, you would have done the same and left me behind, wouldn't you? Just because of one time, you don't want to be friends with me anymore. You're just as cowardly as I am. When I was taken away, you abandoned me too, following Garam's orders. I can't believe it. Fine, I don't want to hang out with you either. Don't ever talk to me again." After yelling at them, Eun-jin burst into tears and stormed off. Seeing this, the other students in the class started laughing and commenting, "Did you hear that? Song Eun-jin just broke up with them. What a pathetic group of friends they are. Poor Song Eun-jin. Should we befriend her?" Meanwhile, Moon Ezen, who witnessed the whole scene, thought, "Damn it, they're really following Garam's orders. They can't just drop out of school. If I keep opposing her and her stepfather, my family's hospital, built over generations, will become a battleground for Lee Myung-jun. Even if I sacrifice myself, I can't protect our hospital from him. He's a man who can't change his cruel nature." When the Lee Hina incident happened, I tried to stay off the bully list. I'll have to figure out how to deal with this in any way I can. I broke 2 of her ribs yesterday, she probably won't come to school today. Even a monster that doesn't feel pain needs time to recover. Yes, I need to think carefully about my next move. While Garam is absent from school. That's my chance to survive in this dangerous game. As Moon Ezen was deep in thought, the door suddenly opened. And Garam walked into the classroom, smiling and saying, "Garam is here, my loves." The whole class was shocked, and Moon Ezen was bewildered. Garam continued, "What's the matter?" "My brother, the department head, says this phrase is really popular in South Korea right now. Anyway, class monitor, from today, I'll be sitting next to you. The teacher already gave permission. So I'll be counting on your help from now on. Hearing this, Moon Esin was terrified. Thinking, this crazy girl, now she's planning to haunt me even during class. Garam placed her backpack down and said, and this is a commemorative gift from me to you. Seeing this, Esin was worried, thinking, what now? What is she hiding in that backpack? Garam smiled and urged, open it, class monitor. It's a special, surprising gift. Esin continued to stare at the backpack, thinking, I'm not mistaken, am I? Moon Esin thought to herself, there's definitely something hidden in that backpack. I can even smell something suspicious coming from it. I don't know what's inside, but I can't help but suspect that whatever it is, it will bring bad luck to me. And with those sparkling, eager eyes of hers. It's clear that whatever's inside isn't good for me. Does she really think I'll do what she says? There's no way I'm opening it. Seeing Esin still hesitating, Garam smiled again and said. Class monitor, aren't you curious about what's inside? Go ahead, open it. Esin coldly replied, get lost, you little brat. Garam was taken aback for a couple of seconds but then laughed and said. Let Garam open it for you then, class monitor. She slowly pulled something out of the backpack and then exclaimed, Tada. It's a crustacean and also my pet, a king crab. Seeing the crab, the whole class, including Esin, was shocked and confused. Esin thought, is this crazy girl holding a live crab? Garam continued, have you ever heard of using animals for diplomacy? I've read that gifting pets is the best way to strengthen relationships between two parties. It even has a name. Its name means, work hard like an ant, so let's call it Kemi for the sake of our friendship. Still baffled by Garam's words, Esin finally responded. You sound like an idiot. Don't you know crabs live in water? What you're doing is animal cruelty. It's going to die soon. What are you talking about, class monitor? It's moving around energetically. You really don't know anything, do you? Crabs can live on land too. You're even more ignorant than you look. What did you just say? Esin shot back, and someone who has abused people is telling me that animal cruelty is wrong. How can you even say that? Garam's comment left Esin speechless, but she turned away and said, either way, seafood smells, so put it in your bag and take it home. Just take it back the way you brought it. Garam, ignoring her, brought the crab closer to Esin. A second later, the crab clamped down on Esin's leg, causing her to scream in pain. Blood started to flow from where the crab bit her, and Esin frantically shook the crab off. Clutching her leg and screaming at Garam, damn it. What the hell are you doing? Are you out of your mind? Do you know something, class monitor? In English, the word, cancer, means a malignant tumor, but in Greek, it means, crab. Do you know why crabs became associated with the word, cancer? Because the shape of a spreading cancer tumor looks just like a crab. But according to ancient beliefs, the pain of cancer was said to feel like being bitten by a crab. There's even a story that crabs are the origin of cancer, with the meaning that no one could have imagined how much a crab could be linked to the reasons that led a certain female student we once knew to jump. Hearing Garam's words, Esin thought, how much does this girl know? Meanwhile, Garam continued, can you guess what today's game is? During class, Arkemi will hide under the desk and pinch the class monitor's leg. Will the class monitor be able to endure the pain? Will she be able to focus on her studies? The entire process will be recorded on camera. Esin continued to think, she's really stubborn. How can she even think about doing something like this during class? If the teacher finds out, she's done for. Besides, the first period is taught by the homeroom teacher, who has a close relationship with my brother through the English club. She won't side with Garam like the vice principal does. And that crab, which is already foaming at the mouth, probably won't last much longer. I just need to endure through the first period and see what you can do, Garam. Garam, on the other hand, was still grinning mischievously. A little later, the first period began. The teacher stood at the front and said, all right, everyone, let's look at question 26. By knowing what spazen and good mean, you can figure out the answer. So, what I want to say about this question is. At that moment, Garam began her game. She slowly moved the crab toward Esin's leg and had it clamped down on her thigh. When Esin felt the crab's pinch, she looked down and immediately stood up. Seeing her stand, the teacher asked, class monitor, what's the matter? Do you have something to say? Garam brought a king crab to school and it bit me. Please do something about it, teacher, Ezen responded. The teacher was taken aback by this and looked down at where Garam was sitting. Garam just sat there, smiling. This made the teacher think for a moment before saying, Ezen, this isn't a funny joke. Sit down and focus on your studies. Hearing the teacher's words, Ezen was horrified and thought, damn it. Why doesn't she believe me? Oh, that's right. She can't see the crab because it's hidden under the desk. In a fit of frustration, Ezen kicked the desk in front of Garam, sending it flying. The loud noise made the teacher turn around and say, what are you doing during class? Look, teacher, don't you see that Garam is holding something weird? Ezen exclaimed. The teacher looked and saw Garam holding the king crab, clearly surprised. But after a moment, she sighed and said, Garam, don't play during class. Wait until recess, okay? I'll do my best, teacher, Garam replied with a smile. You hear that? She won't play with it anymore. Now, class monitor, sit back down, the teacher added. Ezen, completely bewildered, sat down, her head filled with questions, unable to understand what was happening. Meanwhile, Garam continued to smile mischievously. A few minutes earlier, the vice principal had been speaking to the teachers, saying, I have something to tell all the teachers. We have a new transfer student, and I'm very concerned about her, Garam. She has a very strong backing, and we need to do our best to support her in adapting to school life. The school's fund has also received significant support from Garam's stepfather. Her adjustment to South Korea will depend greatly on the support she receives from the staff here. Therefore, even if Garam plays around during class, we must be lenient and not scold her. Back in the present, Ezen was furious, thinking. Could this be Lim Youngjun's doing? Has he taken control of all the teachers in this school? Just then, Garam moved the crab closer to Ezen again, causing her to dodge and panic. Ezen shouted, stop bringing that thing near me. Don't you understand what I'm saying? Why are you even keeping that 8-legged creature? I'm going to boil it and dip it in salt and lemon. Garam responded, don't you see how tough Kemi's shell is? Try to crush it if you can. If you succeed, it won't bother you anymore. Hearing this, Ezen lunged at Garam. But as she did, Garam ducked to avoid the punch, and in that moment, Garam used her legs to clamp down on Ezen's body. Ezen's eyes widened as she felt her body being squeezed tightly. Seeing Ezen trapped by Garam, Garam laughed and said, what's wrong, class monitor? You can't even touch its legs, can you? Now you have to let it bite you. Come on, class monitor, let it bite you. No, wait, don't let it bite my face. Please, no, Ezen screamed in desperation. A second later, the crab clamped down on Ezen's cheek. The strength of a 10 kilograms crab might not seem too serious at first glance, but it felt like having a scorching microwave pressed against her face. The pressure from the crab, inversely proportional to its surface area, made the pain on Ezen's cheek 20 times worse than being pinched by a clothespin. Ezen's cries filled the classroom as she pleaded, teacher, please help me. Why aren't you helping me? Damn it, stop teaching and help me. Teacher, please. Hearing Ezen's screams, the teacher on the board recalled the morning conversation, thinking, but vice principal, you know what kind of child Garam is. Do you really mean to say that even if she disrupts the class, we should just ignore it? I'm not saying you shouldn't care about the students, the vice principal had said. If you can't teach properly, just call Garam and the student causing the trouble outside. That's what the higher-ups instructed us to do when something happens. Back in the present, the teacher finally shouted, both of you, go outside. Right now. A moment later, Garam and Ezen left the classroom. As they walked out, Ezen thought, could it really be Lee Myung-jun behind all this? This is too reckless. Even as a chaebol, there should be some who have common sense. Does he think this won't cause any backlash? Damn it, can't you take your off me? What are you talking about, class monitor? I'm just holding my hands up high. You're more naive than I thought. No one's watching, so why bother holding your hands up? Garam said with a mischievous grin. Hearing this, Ezen lowered her hands and thought, what am I even doing? The closer I get to Garam, the more I start acting weird like her. Just then, Garam had the crab pinch Ezen's leg again and said, come on now, you have to be careful of traps when solving questions, class monitor. It's not true that no one's watching. I'm watching you, can't you see that? What kind of class monitor doesn't set a good example? I'll have to punish you on behalf of the teacher. Ezen, now terrified, pleaded, wait, this is going too far. You've taken it too far already. Another class passed by, and Garam's king crab, Kemi, lay lifeless. Garam, crying, said, "Kemi, please wake up." Class monitor, "Kemi isn't moving at all. It's gone." If a crab doesn't live in water and is brought onto land, it can only survive for about 2 to 3 hours. Foaming at the mouth is just a way for it to live on land for a few hours, Ezen explained. "Why didn't you tell me that sooner?" "Damn it, I told you already. I told you it's an aquatic animal, you idiot." Ezen snapped. "It's over, Garam, your pet is dead. Why don't you take Kemi home and make some crab soup with it?" "You're seriously deranged," Ezen said as she walked away. Garam let out a sly smile as Ezen left. A little while later, back in the classroom. The students were holding their noses in disgust. Ezen was shocked by what she saw. Her backpack had the dead king crab inside it. She started trembling and thought, "Damn it, my backpack, my notebooks, the wallet my boyfriend gave me for my birthday. Damn it, I'm going to kill that crazy girl and Garam." At that moment, Garam spoke up, "Class monitor, so you've finally seen it, huh? That's Kemi's funeral. I thought a lot about how to send Kemi to heaven, so I thought of you. You were the one Kemi interacted with the most while it was alive. Being close to you would make Kemi very happy, so I decided to use your backpack as Kemi's final resting place. How do you feel about that, class monitor? Are you as happy as I am?" Garam laughed mischievously and thought, "How adorable. Of course, I knew Kemi would die. I just wanted to mess with you and give you a little surprise gift, so I pretended not to know anything. But do you know what's even more surprising, class monitor? My stepfather is preparing something special for you too. A new recipe, freshly invented. And now, the dish is almost ready. My stepfather told me to keep the final dinner preparation secret until the very end. So while I wait for that moment, no matter how much I want to play with you." At that point, Ezian picked up the dead crab and slammed it into Garam's face. Ezian laughed and said, "A funeral for Kemi? You should have told me earlier." "You know something, Garam? The crab's insides are full of nucleic acids that help activate cells. I hear those are great for the skin. So instead of putting Kemi in my bag, why don't you rub it on your face? It might do wonders for your skin." At that moment, Garam grabbed Ezian's hand, pulled her, and then threw her behind her. Garam then quickly lunged forward, throwing a punch that landed on the blackboard behind Ezian, causing it to crack. After delivering the punch, Garam said, "You're such a strange person, class monitor. Why do you keep provoking me like this? We don't usually play so intensely together, so it's normal for you to feel tired, right? Do you think I'm like Song Un-jin, some delicate girl? No matter how much I humble myself, you won't let me go, will you? Just keep causing trouble, you crazy bitch. But the reaction you're hoping to see from me, I won't show it to you. I just wanted to play around for a bit, that's all. But I guess even that's not okay with you. Get ready, class monitor. Soon, I'll make your eyes red from crying, and all these puppets too. If anyone asks, you tell them the class monitor caused this, got it?" After saying those words, Garam walked out of the classroom. Seeing Garam leave, Ezian smirked and said, "Of course you couldn't take me down, Garam. You know that too. If you keep causing chaos openly like this, you'll be the one who gets into trouble. The nonsense you pulled with that king crab is proof of that. Now, you can't do things outside the law and still get teachers to cover for you. In this school environment, I'm no longer restrained by anything. Because of the limited scope of what you can do, there's no one superior here. I don't know why, but it seems Lee Myung-jun is trying to harass me at school. However, that also ensures my safety and protection. So this is my last chance to strike back. Just wait and see, Garam. Let's see who will be the last one laughing." Her classmates, still frightened, whispered among themselves. These girls are completely crazy. Later, as the school day ended, Ezian walked out, laughing to herself, thinking, "It's been a long time since I've felt this refreshed. Even though I'm a bit annoyed about having to clean out my bag, seeing Garam hovering around like this but unable to do anything else is somewhat satisfying. I wonder if she's venting her frustrations on Song Un-jin because she couldn't do anything to me. What a bunch of idiots." Garam made a mistake by showing off that she had bribed the teachers in front of the class. The moment Garam and Lee Myung-jun keep acting crazy, that's when I'll start my counterattack. I'll gradually leak the details of Garam's actions and the vice principal Lee Myung-jun's disciplinary records to the press, and this will explode in the media. That's right, I know just the right place to handle this. Bae Ak has moved to Gwangju, and her grandmother is the director of a large media company. I'll leak the news to BHS, and the information will spread across all the news outlets. BHS isn't just a broadcasting station but also an MCN, multi-channel network, of new media. From TikTok to Instagram. There are countless news reports published on BHS, too many to count. If the media attacks, can Lee Myung-jun still have his way? Let's see how it plays out. I'll make sure they know who they're dealing with. At that moment, a boy stood in front of Ezian. Seeing him, she thought, Jun-min. Why is he at my school? She quickly looked around to see if anyone was nearby, then took off her glasses and thought, great, no one's around. I haven't seen him in a while, so I should tease him a bit. She called out, Appa. What's this? What's this? It's been so long since I've seen you. During your whole competition season, we hardly got to see each other. Why did you come here today? You should have told me in advance. If I knew you were coming, I would have put on more makeup and worn my lenses. Next time, at least give me a hint that you're coming. Jun-min then asked, Ezian, what happened to your face? Oh, this? During PE class, someone accidentally scratched my face, so this happened. But I'm fine, don't worry about it. So why did you come here? Don't you have training today? It's been so long since we last saw each other. Let's find a karaoke place and... Before she could finish, Jun-min interrupted her, Moon Ezian, are you a big sister? Ezian's expression darkened immediately as she responded, what are you talking about? Who told you such nonsense? My friend's younger sister also goes to this school. Jun-min explained. She said lately there's been a lot of fighting and troublemakers at school, and she's really scared to go. She even mentioned that one of the names being thrown around matches yours, even down to the middle school you went to. Do you have anything to say about this? When Ezian remained silent, Jun-min became angry and said, you know how much I hate bullies and school tyrants. You know how much I despise those who bully or isolate others. But my own girlfriend is making her classmates eat cigarette butts. This isn't true, right, Ezian? Tell me it's not. At this moment, Ezian began to cry and said, Appa, do you really think I'm that kind of person? How can you just listen to what others say and criticize me so harshly? Jun-min replied, that's why I'm asking you to explain. I don't want to believe those things either, so please help me understand. At that moment, Ezian pulled down her pants slightly, revealing the bruises on her legs, and said to Jun-min, do you see these? These are the wounds I got today from being bullied. Who do you think did this to me? Can't you tell just by looking that these aren't from a fight but from being mistreated? Lately, I've been bullied by those crazy girls at school, Appa. The kids in class keep bullying poor Eun-jin. I only told them to stop, and now I'm being treated the same way. And those rumors about me being some kind of big sister. They're just spreading false rumors. I'm the one being hurt here. They're the bad ones who did this to me. I didn't want to tell you because I was afraid it would affect your competitions, but now you're doubting me. Hearing Ezian's words, Jun-min hugged her and said, I'm so sorry, Ezian. I was blind. How could I ever think you'd do something like that? I'll never doubt you again. Of course not, Ezian. There's no way you'd do such things. How could they do this to my sweet girl? I'll get revenge for you. As Jun-min held her, Ezian thought angrily, damn it, that stupid rumor is spreading faster than I thought. I have to deal with this before it ruins everything. Damn it. Why does someone as perfect as Jun-min have to get involved? He's the only one who comforts me and helps me get through everything. If I lose him because of this, I'll kill Garam and whoever started this rumor. Meanwhile, Garam was standing in a tree nearby, watching the two of them embrace. A little while later, the two of them went to a karaoke place. Inside, they were making out. Ezian spoke up, if I didn't have to go to tutoring, I'd want to be with you every day. Yeah, it's a shame, Jun-min replied. But just having you here with me right now makes all the stress and exhaustion disappear. Keep surprising me like this in the future, okay? Ezian, ever since I found out you were being bullied, I can't just stand by and do nothing. I'm going to confront the person who did this to you and have a serious talk with them. Appa, they won't be scared just because you say a few threatening words. They have connections too, but we can't let them keep mistreating you like this, can we? Please, Appa, I'm begging you, don't get involved. I don't want you to get caught up in my problems and end up in danger. But there is one thing you can do for me. No matter what happens, you have to trust me. Don't ever believe the nonsense other people say. Can you do that? Of course, my love, Jun-min replied. With that, they started kissing again. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to Lee Myung-jun, who was looking at a wedding photo. He thought to himself, even though you left this world a long time ago, I'm still grateful to you for giving me a wonderful daughter like Hina. She had a warm heart, just like you. Even during her teenage years, she was always so loving towards her father. Thank you for bringing her into this world. She was such an angelic girl. But I'm so sorry, my dear wife, that I couldn't protect her Hina. Maybe now, you and Hina have been reunited in heaven, haven't you? No, it's all a lie. Since when did I start believing that heaven could actually exist? No, there's no way heaven is real. This world is cruel. That's right, my dear wife. I'd rather believe that hell exists. So I'll make sure to prove to you and Hina that hell is indeed real. At that moment, Chief Big walked in and said, Vice Chairman, the investigation into the students that Garam requested has been completed. All right. Tell me how the progress is going, replied the Vice Chairman. I need to know everything because this is my revenge plan. Shin Chu-min, a third-year student at Ina Seoul High School and a member of the tennis team. This boy is Moon Yi-sun's boyfriend. If I had to describe Moon Yi-sun's boyfriend in one word, it would be the perfect child. He has a bright future as a professional tennis player and a good appearance. He has excellent academic performance and a good personality, so he's loved by many people. However, according to some of his close classmates, he's easily swayed by others and lacks decisiveness. But over the 2 long years of dating, Shin Chu-min and Moon Yi-sun's relationship has grown much deeper than most couples their age. Yi-sun is cunning. I thought she was just a bookworm, but apparently she's been involved in things she shouldn't have. I didn't expect this. I also looked into how the two of them met, continued Chief Big. The first time Moon Yi-sun and Shin Chu-min met was at the closing ceremony of the National Youth Sports Festival last year. During the interaction between athletes from different categories, they fell for each other. According to the coaches who trained Moon Yi-sun, because of succession issues. Moon Yi-sun's family forced her to give up her sports career. Since then, she has relied heavily on Shin Chu-min to support her emotionally, especially during her psychological struggles. Even now, as Moon Yi-sun faces the pressure of the university entrance exams, he remains her only emotional support. Summarize and get to the point. Why are you introducing Shin Chu-min to me? Let me explain. Stepfather, Garam replied. Shin Chu-min is a part of my plan. Starting with him, I'll break down Moon Yi-sun's mental foundation with a very cruel method. And the name of this plan is NTR. Hearing Garam say this, Chief Big thought to himself, where did she learn such words? Meanwhile, Lee Myung-jun said, interesting. You're planning to steal Moon Yi-sun's boyfriend? That's right, stepfather, Garam continued. I've heard that you're working on a peculiar dish lately. If 2 people eat it, one of them will die. But until that dinner is ready, I can't keep playing around. Until I make Moon Yi-sun eat that, I'll torment her psychologically with this tragic love story. All right, said Lee Myung-jun, for the scum that harmed my daughter. They can't be allowed to enjoy their youth happily. Proceed with this plan immediately. A few days later, Yi-jin was out with Truman. As they walked, she said, it's been a long time since we've had a weekend date like this. I'm really happy. I'm happy too, but I regret that we only have 1 hour to spend together. I even tried to ask my dad to let me skip extra classes for just 1 day, but he didn't agree. How can I stand it, having already been bullied at school and then having to study for another 10 hours on the weekend? My dad still doesn't know that IRM was bullied, does he? I'm afraid it would worry my parents, so I haven't told them. I've always been gentle, so now everyone thinks they can bully me, right? You shouldn't always think about others, you need to think about yourself too, said Truman. Hearing Truman's words made Yi-jin angry. I'm so frustrated. You're worrying too much about me, and it's giving me a headache. This issue will only be a matter of time until you find out the truth. The more urgent matter now is to keep this from reaching my dad. Seeing her remain silent, Truman spoke up again, Yi-jin, you should tell your dad about everything. Right now, the important thing isn't just about studying. You don't understand because you don't know my dad. Even if his daughter were in a traffic accident, he'd still make her study right there in the hospital room. Let's change the subject. We haven't had a date like this in a long time, so I don't want to spoil it. As long as I can date you like this, school bullying is nothing to worry about. So please, don't think about it anymore, okay? Alright, Jean, it's time for your extra class, so I had to go. But for our next date, you have to make sure your roommate doesn't join us, okay? You've been so exhausted from training, so I'll help you unwind. Hearing these affectionate words made Truman blush. Seeing his face turn red, Jean laughed and said, "Your face is all red. What's going on? Are you embarrassed? How cute. Okay, I'm leaving now. Let's meet again next weekend." Truman said goodbye to her, but he was still thinking, she's clearly pretending that everything's fine, isn't she? Why am I doubting someone as thoughtful and gentle as her? Maybe my mind wasn't working right at the time. Jean thought, I shouldn't get involved in her personal matters, but as her boyfriend, I need to do something. At that moment, a voice called out, "Truman." The one calling him was Garam. When Truman turned around to look at her, he was stunned. She's so beautiful, a real beauty. What am I thinking? I already have Jean. Garam then spoke up. "Hi, Truman. I've heard a lot about you from Jean." "Oh, so you're Jean's classmate? Nice to meet you. But who are you exactly? Are you curious about Jean's past?" Seeing Garam speak, Truman was confused for a long moment before angrily saying, "So it was you, huh? You're the one who bullied my Jean, aren't you?" Garam responded, "You're being really unfair. Actually, I'm the one being abused here. Can't you see the bruises on my cheek? Don't try to make me laugh. I've already heard everything from Jean. People like you are just blaming all your wrongdoings on my Jean, and yet you still dare to come to her boyfriend and try to drive a wedge between us like this? Aren't you ashamed? I don't care what nonsense you try to say, but don't look at me with those flirty eyes, and don't ever show up in front of me again. As Jean's boyfriend, I'll do everything I can to punish those who bullied her, like you. Get ready." Hearing him speak like this, Garam thought to herself, what's going on? I heard he's usually indecisive, but now he's so determined. Wow, the information from my brother in the department is sometimes completely useless. Or maybe it's Jean's manipulation of his easily influenced personality that's making it effective. Anyway, seducing him or whatever can wait. If I let him walk away now, everything will go to waste. If I want him to listen to me, then I should just. After thinking it through, Garam said, "Yes, that's right. I did those things." "What? I'm the one who bullied Jean. Those artistic works on your girlfriend's body. I'm the one who did them." Hearing these words, Truman angrily pushed Garam against a wall and said, "Do you even know what you're saying right now?" At this moment, Moon Jean suddenly started vomiting shards of glass from her mouth. It turned out that Garam's meal had been tampered with beforehand. Only now did Moon Jean realize that she had been tricked. She was vomiting a lot of blood due to her own miscalculation. Moon Jean tried to stand up. But two of Garam's bodyguards pinned her down on the chair. At this moment, Garam's voice rang out again. "Class president, no matter how you look at it. Handling Hyena's vomiting debt with seaweed seems unfair to me. At the very least, what I gave you was actual food ingredients. What you gave Hyena, on the other hand, was a foreign object. That's why we prepared this. The essence of international cuisine. Shaved glass. How does it taste? Class president. Is it good?" Amid this situation, someone walked up to Moon Jean and spoke. Jean, this shaved glass dessert was personally made for you by the vice president. Considering his efforts, I hope you'll eat it all without hesitation. Hearing the bodyguard's words, Moon Jean furiously thought, damn it, I'm definitely doomed now. These insane bastards are really trying to kill me. I had to get out of here at all costs. Currently, there are only two people behind me. A male and a female bodyguard. Neither of them is blocking the chair. In that case, with the strength I've gained from Taekwondo, I just need to kick the chair down and escape backward. Then run. Moon Jean was about to make a break for it. But she noticed something strange. As she prepared to open the door and leave, she turned her head to look back at Ram and the others. In this situation, what was she thinking? Why aren't they chasing me? Shouldn't they be coming after me right now? While Moon Jean was pondering, Ram spoke again. "Class president. You seem to be in a hurry. Shouldn't you take your bag with you when you leave?" Hearing this, Moon Jean glanced at her bag, then continued to think in confusion. What's going on? Why aren't they stopping me from leaving? Could this be some kind of trap? Damn it. After being dragged into this psychological battle, I don't even know what's happening anymore. Should I leave or stay here? Moon Ae Jean was still confused when Jiaram's voice rang out again. There's a video. A video where you, class president, are the main character. If they find out what I plan to do with this video. Even if you were pushed away. You wouldn't want to leave, right? So, sit down, class president. I won't force you to eat the shaved glass. But before you go, wouldn't it be fun to watch an entertaining video? Don't you think so? Class president Moon Ae Jean. Hearing Jiaram's words, Moon Ae Jean hesitated, thinking for a long time. When the video was played, the voices and images from it sent shivers down her spine. Yes, Eun Jean, I'm a murderer. But are you sure it's okay to keep getting involved with a killer? In the video, scenes of Moon Ae Jean continuously beating Eun Jean were displayed. As she watched, terror consumed her. At that moment, Jiaram's voice interrupted again. Are you okay? Class president? Such brutal violence at the scene. Without mercy. And the murderer's confession. You see, if this video gets shared with a few people, wouldn't that be quite entertaining? As Jiaram spoke, Moon Ae Jean suddenly realized something. She stammered nervously. Wait, don't tell me, are you planning to send this to my dad? Why would I do that? Are you afraid I'll report it to your father? But I already made myself clear. Didn't I? I said, a few people. Ae Jean. Jiaram continued with a smirk. Wasn't your cousin's laptop hacked yesterday? Actually, that wasn't a random hacker. It was a Chinese hacker we hired. What, surprised? You've met him before, class president. Do you know how skilled that hacker is? I'll send your video to him. And from now on, every time you try to start a new life, he'll distribute this video to everyone around you. When you enter university, the scene shifted. Following Jiaram's words, Moon Ae Jean was walking happily with her classmates. Suddenly, a boy received a notification. He looked at his phone. Stunned. As the video of Moon Ae Jean beating her classmate played, more and more people received the video. All eyes were now on Moon Ae Jean. Jiaram's voice continued. Even if you managed to get a job, the scene continued to shift. Moon Ae Jean's co-workers were now furious as they held the school violence video in their hands. This made Moon Ae Jean deeply anxious and frightened. Jiaram's voice still echoed. Even when you get married, the scene showed Moon Ae Jean happily celebrating her wedding. However, among the guests, her relatives and friends were intently watching something. Moon Ae Jean followed their gazes. Only to find out they were watching the video. Jiaram's voice rang out again. At every significant moment in your life, this will suddenly appear and find you. You see. To pay for all these tasks, the hacker will be compensated per assignment through the extra platform. It's calculated and tracked via blockchain on the dark web. In other words, even if your father passes away a few days from now. For example, the hacker will keep chasing you. For the rest of your life. That's all I wanted to say. And so, our poor little class president will live alone until she becomes a frail old woman. And finally die. But before that happens, unless you choose to end it all yourself, this torment won't stop. As soon as Jiaram finished speaking, Moon Ae Jean collapsed onto the chair, kneeling, and begged. No, please. Please don't do this. I'll do anything. Jiaram. Anything. Tell your stepfather that I'll do whatever he asks of me. Please. Anything he asks. You say. Class president. Then eat it. The shaved glass on the table. If you eat it all, I'll delete the video completely. And won't distribute it. Whether you believe me or not is entirely up to you. Class president. As you've already seen, we didn't stop you from leaving earlier. But one thing is certain. The moment you walk out of this shop, without eating the shaved glass, you'll regret it and wish you had eaten it. That regret will be yours to bear. Hearing this, Moon Ae Jean fell into deep thought. In her mind, she recalled something she had seen before. A man with pica. A condition where he compulsively chewed and ate glass. Even after consuming countless shards over many years, he remained completely fine. So, What's the big deal here? Could I eat it? She thought to herself. Damn it. That bitch is smirking at me. What's so funny? Moon Ae-jin had no other choice. She began eating spoonfuls of shaved glass in front of her. All under Jiaram's cold and emotionless gaze. As she ate, memories from years past came flooding back. Memories of her bullying Hina. Back then, Moon Ae-jin had forced Hina to eat scraps of toilet paper. No matter how many times Hina pleaded for mercy, even claiming to be sick, Moon Ae-jin had continued to torment her, driven by her twisted and sadistic tendencies. Returning to the present, Moon Ae-jin's screams echoed through the restaurant. Her body suddenly collapsed to the ground, her hands falling limp and motionless. With a trembling voice, she stammered. My stomach. It's burning. Someone. Please call 119. Help me. Please. At that moment, a group of people entered the restaurant. Moon Ae-jin's eyes darted toward them. And she saw Lee Myung-jun and Chief Bitch standing there, watching her. Seeing them, Moon Ae-jin desperately cried out. Sir. I was wrong. Please save me. Call 119. I beg you. As Moon Ae-jin lay there groaning in pain, Lee Myung-jun finally spoke. He-sun. Apologize properly to Hina. While speaking, he placed a white chrysanthemum flower on Moon Ae-jin's chest. At the same time, Jiaram approached her, smiling as she said. You worked hard to pay off your debt. He-sun. Now. Rest in peace. As Jiaram's words echoed in her mind, Hina's image appeared before Moon Ae-jin's eyes, filling her with sheer terror. Her vision blurred, and her eyes slowly closed. Final report on the individual punishment of Moon Ae-jin. Consumed a large quantity of contaminated glass shards. Died from septic shock in the gastrointestinal tract. Official time of death. 11:47 a.m. Perpetrator. Moon Ae-jin. Status. Revenge successfully completed. Garam smirked and replied, let's talk, shall we? If you leave me and walk away right now, my artistic works won't just stop at Yi-jin's thighs. If you want to save your girlfriend, then chatting with me for a few minutes in a cafe isn't too much to ask, is it? Fine, let's go to the cafe. But if you spout any more nonsense, I won't let you off easily. Hearing this, Garam gave a slight smile. A while later, as she was sipping coffee, she said with a laugh, this flavor is just right. As expected, South Korea has so many delicious things. Hearing her say that, Truman thought to himself, South Korea? Is she from North Korea? Just then, Garam's voice interrupted his thoughts, I'm sorry for being so rude to you earlier. If I didn't provoke you like that, I don't think you would have agreed to talk to me, so I had to do it. Stop beating around the bush and get to the point. What do I have to do for you to leave my Yi-jin alone? It seems like you're misunderstanding me. I'm here to tell you the whole truth. You still haven't stopped spewing nonsense, have you? Fine, let's talk about the truth of the girlfriend you've been with for 2 years being the queen bee of the school. That's probably hard for you to accept, but even so, I ask you to control your anger and listen to what I have to say. Stop babbling and get to the point. You're probably aware by now that I escaped from North Korea. The person who took me in when I had nowhere to go, the person I owe so much to, is my stepfather. My stepfather never let me lack for anything, he cared for me with the warmth of the sun. I opened up to him, and we became close, like friends. But that didn't bring me much joy because the stepfather I adored had to endure painful torment every night. His biological daughter, who he loved the most and had cared for since she was little, Hina, chose to leave him after being bullied for a long time. And the demons who drove her to such a state were none other than Moon Yi-jin and her group. Hearing this, Truman angrily yelled at Garam, shut your damn mouth. This outburst made everyone around them turn to look. Garam raised her hand to her mouth and said, don't shout like that in public. If you keep this up, we might get kicked out before I finish this sweet chocolate drink. I already told you earlier, if you keep barking, there's nothing left to say. Do you think I'll believe your lies without any proof? How could that possibly be true? If you want proof, here it is. Take a look for yourself. My stepfather received these as the family of the deceased. This is information about Hina's case. Read it carefully, because this is the original document. The details of the defendants in the case are written quite clearly. One of the culprits who committed the crime, in terms of personal information and harmful actions, matches up very closely with your girlfriend according to recent rumors, doesn't it? Truman grabbed the papers and, still angry, said, "Are you kidding me? I could easily fake a pile of scrap paper like this. Do you think you can deceive me with such a stupid trick? I knew you wouldn't believe those, so I prepared something else, Tada." This was provided by the Supreme Court of South Korea. It's a service that allows the public to search for cases. The court service lets you view the trial results based on the case number and the names of the parties involved. The name of the defendant, Moon Hee-jin, also appears here. So, what do you think about that? It's a scam. You could have easily created that by taking a screenshot and filling in a fake name. Stop saying things like that. This isn't just an image file. It's the actual screen of the official court website. You only need to know the case number and the names involved to find and see everything. I've already told you the name of the website. Just take out your phone, search, and see for yourself. I don't believe it. It's just a coincidence of names, that's all. Exactly, it's just a coincidence. The name on that website is just a coincidence. You're just creating false information the way you want it. Am I right? Hearing him say that, Garam thought, how could Moon Hee-jin create such a devoted follower like this? Normally, how does he attract people? After thinking, she replied, "What? Coincidence of names? Don't you see you're just forcing yourself to believe that? I understand that you want to deny the bad things about your girlfriend, but you should slowly start to accept the truth. No, Hee-jin isn't like that. I've been dating her for 2 years. I just need to ask her directly, and I'll know everything." As Truman was about to ask Hee-jin, Garam suddenly jumped in, "No, you can't." But he angrily pushed her away, "You wretch, let go. If what you say is true, then you wouldn't mind facing Hee-jin directly, would you? You could refute her lies right in front of me, couldn't you? So why are you stopping me? As I thought, everything you're saying is just made up, isn't it? Look at yourself right now. As long as you blindly follow Moon Hee-jin, everything I say is just like water off a duck's back. What nonsense are you talking about? Let go of me." Truman, unable to grab his phone, angrily thought, how is she so strong? This girl really is someone who bullies others. Meanwhile, Garam was thinking, I failed. I was too quick to trust the information about his indecisive nature. If I let him talk to Moon Hee-jin in this situation, he'll just be brainwashed even more. With no other choice, Garam broke Truman's phone, which caused her to fall to the ground. Truman stood there in shock for a moment before yelling, "My phone." Garam, astonished, said, "My chocolate milk." At that moment, the shop owner spoke up, "You two need to leave the cafe immediately." As they were being kicked out, Garam said, "It's your fault that I didn't even get to enjoy my chocolate milk before we were thrown out. Shut up and get lost. Get out of my sight, or I'll make you pay for my phone. I can buy you another phone, each one from a different brand if you need. Goodbye, Truman. Honestly, even if you pretend not to care, deep down, you're really worried about the rumors about Hee-jin, aren't you? Alright, let's do this. Tomorrow at 4:20 p.m., 20 minutes before school ends at Allura High, go to the back gate of the school. If you trust me even just once and want to see the true face of Moon Hee-jin, be there and witness everything with your own eyes." In the blink of an eye, it was already the next day. Hee-jin was texting while thinking, Truman hasn't replied to my messages. Why is that? Is it because I bothered him too much yesterday, and now he finds me annoying? No, that can't be. Truman isn't like that. In almost 2 years of dating, nothing like this has ever happened. What could possibly be going on? And why is that Youngerum suddenly acting so quiet and gentle? I'd rather she did something crazy. But even at lunchtime, she hasn't caused any trouble. She's just sitting there quietly. Now that I think about it, when Youngerum started acting more well-behaved, that's also around the time my dear Truman disappeared. Could it be? No, it can't be what I'm thinking, right? At that moment, Youngerum turned around and asked Hee-jin. Why are you staring at me? What's on your face, class president? Youngerum said loudly. Hee-jin cursed Youngerum, mind your own damn business. Afterward, Hee-jin thought, at least she's not causing trouble for me. I should just focus on my studies. I've got so much work piled up. On the other side, Youngerum continued to smile while looking at Hee-jin. Time flew, and it was lunchtime. Jin was eating lunch alone, enjoying her meal when someone threw food at her face. That someone was none other than Sihi and Jae Jin. Furious, she yelled, "This is insane. You jerks have gone too far." Jae responded. "Why not look at it positively? At least today, we're giving you a meal fit for a human." "Exactly. Remember when we made you eat dog food on your first day when we took you out? Compared to lying on the ground like a dog and eating dog food, isn't everything better now? Besides, that day we secretly slipped in some snacks without letting Youngerum know, so don't be too hard on us." Hearing them say that, Jin thought angrily, "Damn it. I can't believe I thought that dog food tasted good. I almost believed I had the same taste as a dog. I'm so embarrassed." Jae then added, "Oh, and once you're done, head down to the trash heap." "Why should I go there? Youngerum told you to go. If you don't, she'll beat you up." Hearing these words, Jin started to cry. She thought, "Please, just leave me alone for once. Can't I have a peaceful day?" A little later, Jin made her way to the trash heap. When she got there, she saw Garam was already waiting for her. Seeing Garam, Jin thought, how did she manage to climb up there and sit like that? Garam spoke up, "Our Jin is here. How was your lunch, sweetie? I found mine delicious. But from the way you sound, it doesn't seem like you enjoyed yours at all. Why are you so lifeless, poor Jin? You're making me worry so much. My dear punching bag. No, my dear friend, is so down. Do you know how much it breaks my heart to see you like this? Damn it, is she planning to humiliate me again?" Jin thought. At that moment, Garam jumped down from above. As soon as she landed, she exclaimed, "Ouch." She looked up and said, "I haven't even done anything to you yet, and you're already on the verge of tears. Yulin, life's been tough for you lately, hasn't it? Let me give you a way to make it easier. Want to hear it?" Jin, still upset, responded. "Are you going to tell me that once I'm dead, I won't feel any more pain? Isn't that right?" "No, sweetie. From now on, I'm going to be serious with you. I want to make a deal with you, so listen carefully. Today, after school, if you do what I say, I won't bully you anymore." Hearing this, Jin laughed and said, "You want me to do something? I'll do it, Garam. Just tell me what to do. I'll try my best to do whatever you ask." "So, what do I have to do after school?" Garam, seeing her reaction, replied. "You need to provoke our class president and beat her to death." Hearing this, Jin was stunned and asked, "What did you just say? Did I hear you right? Meet the class president after school, say something to intimidate her, take control of the situation, and then hit her hard." "What? I don't want to." "You must be joking, right? You're just trying to come up with a new way to bully me, aren't you? I'd rather die than mess with that Jin. It's no different from what happened with Rio." "Of course, there's a difference, you idiot. You still got beaten before you died, right? Don't joke with me like that. If I get hit in a vulnerable spot, I might as well be dead. And if that Jin gets mad, it's terrifying. Garam, in front of her, I'm nothing. Aren't you afraid of her anymore? It's not that, Garam is scary, but whether it's getting hit by a car or run over, the outcome is the same, death." At that moment, Garam grabbed her by the neck and coldly said, "Why won't you listen to me, you idiot? Don't you know the survival rate is higher if you get hit by a car than if you get run over? Deal between us is over. Now, this is an order. If you don't do what I say after school, those less than wholesome photos of yours will be on display for the whole school to see. Getting run over by a truck must be so painful. And your answer is, I'll do it. I'll do it, is that what you want?" As soon as those words were spoken, Garam let go of Jin and smiled, saying, "Of course, Jin is my favorite friend. I'm really looking forward to what happens after school." After Garam left, Jin burst into tears of frustration, screaming in despair. In the blink of an eye, it was already afternoon. Chu Min was standing outside the school gate, thinking, this is in front of Jin's school. I even came home earlier than usual to prepare for the exam. Is this what a boyfriend should be doing? It's really a sin to doubt my girlfriend, but that's because my girlfriend is being bullied. Even if I trust her and tell myself to be rational, it doesn't do any good. This is something I had to do, even though I don't know the reason. RM told me to come here, but if I don't, who knows what she might do to my Jin. Alright, I'll just do what she wants for now. And while I'm at it, I might be able to get some evidence of school violence too. As Eun Jin's boyfriend, I'll stand up to them and save my girlfriend. Just then, a voice called out, "Oh Lala, Chu Min, you're really here. Why are you out here? Aren't you still in class? I got out of class early, just like you, and I also prepared something for you." Prepared what? I found a great spot where you can see everything that Eun Jin is about to do. A perfect place to hide and watch everything with you. I came here to guide you to that spot, so don't misunderstand me. Come on, follow me, we need to find a place to sit. It's time to face the truth. Chu Min then followed Garam. After a while, school was dismissed. The two of them, Garam and Chu Min, were standing high above, observing. Garam looked down below and said, "The main actor should appear soon, right? Could it be that Eun Jin couldn't lure that witch out?" At this point, Chu Min asked, "Hey, what are you holding?" "Oh, this? It's a high-quality video camera I prepared. I've got everything ready to capture the action. Although I could just use my phone like usual, but that wouldn't be as fun, would it? What's so interesting about this? I don't know why you're filming, but you should have asked me first. If you plan to record everything from the start, why did you call me here? Couldn't you just show me the video afterward? Or do you have another purpose?" "Shush, be quiet and look over there," Garam said. She finally showed up. Seeing Eun Jin, Chu Min thought, what am I supposed to do? Just stand here and watch. Below, Eun Jin was speaking. "Hey Eun Jin, you've gotten pretty bold lately, haven't you? You even dared to call me out after school. I told you before, the next person I'll deal with after young RM is you, didn't I? Did you forget what I said? Why did you call me out here? What do you want to say?" At that moment, Eun Jin turned to face Yi Jin and began to angrily shout, "Shit. Am I really that pathetic? Hey, I'm asking you, am I as pathetic as you say? If I'm so pathetic, then come at me and beat me to death. Finish me off first, you bastard." Chu Min was shocked to see this from above, while Garam was smirking. Below, Yi Jin was taken aback. A second later, she became furious. Seeing this, Eun Jin was terrified, thinking, Yi Jin is about to lose it. I'm doomed. Moon Yi Jin is going to tear me apart. She'll kill me after a few blows. On the other side, Yi Jin didn't act immediately. She thought to herself, why on earth is that bitch provoking me like this? Both the reason and the timing for her picking a fight with me don't make any sense. But now I can't just turn my back and pretend I don't know anything. And she seems to be aware of what she's doing. I have no idea what she's scheming. Suddenly, she sensed something and quickly turned to look at the opposite building. Fortunately, Garam had already pulled Chu Min down to hide. Yi Jin, still thinking, there's definitely something strange about this situation. Someone must have set this up. Although I don't know what kind of trap they've laid for me, my instincts tell me I shouldn't go along with any crazy actions I was planning to do. Forget it, I'm just going to leave. As Yi Jin started to leave, Eun Jin called out, wait, where do you think you're going? We need to settle this now, you bitch. If you want to go back to the dirt, why don't you go find Garam? If you've got nothing else to say, then I'm leaving. Seeing Yi Jin walk away, Eun Jin was shocked, thinking, I can't just let her go like that. But at the same time, I feel much more at ease with her leaving like this. Although this behavior is very unlike Yi Jin, it makes me feel a lot better. Alright, I've done my best. Maybe Garam will let me off the hook for this failure. At that moment, Eun Jin looked up and saw Garam standing on the rooftop. She noticed Garam's face was filled with anger. Realizing this, she thought. No, what the hell am I thinking? This is Garam we're talking about. She's the type who says one thing and sticks to it, and she could kill me at any moment. If I want to stay safe, I need to figure out a way to salvage this situation. Just like that crazy bitch Garam is thinking. Suddenly, an idea popped into Eun Jin's head. She immediately shouted toward Yi Jin, murderer. Yi Jin heard this and turned back, asking, what did you just say? When Hina jumped off the rooftop, she wasn't alone. You and Seo Yun's dad dragged her up there and forced her to jump, didn't you? You're a murderer, you damn bitch. Hearing this, Yi Jin's face darkened. Above them, Garam was watching and thinking, what are they barking about? Sister Hina. Wasn't it because she was too negative and stressed due to stomach cancer that she committed suicide? Could she really have been forced into it? Below, Jean coldly asked, "All right, Jean, who told you those things?" Seeing that Jean was interested, Jean smiled, thinking, "It's working." Then she smirked and said, "Do you think I tell you? You should go to the police station and confess, you murderer." At that moment, Jean rushed forward and kicked Jean. The kick sent Jean flying. But it didn't stop there. Jean followed up by kicking Jean hard in the stomach. This kick hurt Jean as if she had been shot. Jean continued to beat her. Above, Chu Min watched in shock, thinking, "No way. Could my Jean really be acting so violently?" Meanwhile, Jean, still kicking Jean, said, "Yes, that's right. I'm a murderer, but how dare you provoke a murderer like me?" Hearing this, Jean, terrified, tried to say, "Wait, Jean, this whole thing is..." But before she could finish, Jean covered her mouth and said, "Shut up. Your filthy mouth is the biggest problem. With that dirty mouth of yours, I'll make sure you never speak another word again." With that, Jean punched Jean straight in the mouth. Above, Chu Min was horrified as he watched Jean relentlessly punch Jean in the mouth. In that moment, all of Chu Min's illusions shattered completely. The beautiful memories were instantly destroyed. Below, Jean managed to spit out a hairpin. As Jean lifted her up, she said, "From tomorrow onwards, don't you dare show your face at school again. I warned you, didn't I? If you appear in front of me one more time, I'll send your body to medical research. Got it?" After saying that, Jean released Jean and kicked her once more. This final kick sent Jean flying, and she lost consciousness. Even so, Jean spat on her face. Chu Min, watching from above, witnessed everything that had just happened. He stammered, "No way. Is that really the Jean I know?" Meanwhile, Garam was smiling as she looked at the video camera, thinking, "Thanks to Jean acting as the punching bag, I've got a very sharp video to use during the final supper. This video is going to play a very important role." At this point, Chu Min was completely devastated. He held his head and said, "A murderer, even forcing someone to jump off a rooftop. What the hell are they talking about? What kind of person am I dating? Who is the Jean that I thought I knew? Has my girlfriend been deceiving me for the past 2 years? Damn it." On the other side, Garam looked at him and thought, what's he thinking? I knew he would be in for a big shock, but this guy's spirit is even more fragile than I expected. If this is his reaction to finding out his girlfriend is a murderer, I guess that's normal. But I didn't expect what Jean said either. Regardless, he's still part of the plan. Provoking him further will only create more trouble. This is bad. If the plan fails, my position will be compromised. That department head will climb over me and take control, and he'll laugh at me too. I can't allow that to happen. Look at that guy. If I keep going like this and give up everything, I won't have another chance to turn things around. Today, I have to find a way to mess with them, no matter what. Ian Garam, a girl who loves sweet chocolate smoothies, developed many new interests after coming to South Korea, which were unexpected to me. One of Garam's newfound hobbies is browsing Wikimiki. For a person like Garam, who has always been curious about everything in life, Wikimiki opened up a magical world for her. Furthermore, on Wikimiki, Garam received plenty of inspiration, especially related to revenge. She learned one key thing from Wikimiki. The level of suffering a victim feels upon discovering they've been cheated on is beyond the imagination of those who haven't experienced it. When someone finds out that their spouse or the person they've loved and trusted for years has fallen into the arms of another, the emotional damage is profound. According to Dennis Ox's research, the aftermath of such an event can lead to severe mental distress, including trauma-related anxiety and stress. Therefore, when Garam found out Moon Enzyme had a boyfriend, she decided to pursue this project. In the real world, Chu Min was holding his head in despair, muttering, "Damn, there's no one left to trust in this world. I feel like I'm being spun around in this relationship. How could she pretend to be kind while deceiving me for 2 years?" Seeing Chu Min like this, Garam thought,